Good afternoon and welcome to Miss Rhoadie. This is my May 2025 Zazzle Bestsellers Store Sales Report. Currently, I'm working on rebuilding momentum in my Zazzle stores and recovering lost ground. One factor I underestimated was the impact of not having cover photos. So at the time when cover photos was introduced and we were encouraged to make some, I thought creating them would be too cumbersome and time consuming. And I was just dependent on always selling because I was used to selling on a regular basis, and I just thought, hey, it's going to continue that way. However, I was sadly mistaken. Cover photos are very important in being promoted in the marketplace. However, I've discovered tools such as ChatGPT that take some of that that makes things easier, that facilitates the process. So I can easily generate professional looking cover photos for many of my products, and it's already making a difference in my sales. This is my About Me page that you can read at your own leisure. And this is my sales for the month of May. May was a breakthrough month for my Zazzle store. I more than doubled my April sales, jumping from 13 sales to 28 in May. That kind of growth didn't just happen by chance. I believe Mother's Day played a major role, as I had several products designed specifically for that occasion. But beyond the holiday boost, I also took more intentional steps. I added more products to all my stores, which is something that I haven't done in a while. I was just expecting my stores just to coast, basically. I began updating older listings and adding new cover photos because, as I see, cover photos can drive more traffic. And I use tools like ChatGPT to help improve my title, description, and tags. These small shifts created real results. It may reminded me that consistent effort and seasonal awareness can produce measurable growth, and that momentum is something that I can build upon. These are my store sales. So I want to take a deep dive into my store sales. Miss Rhoadie continues to be the backbone of my Zazzle brand, generating 17 sales this month. And what's interesting about these sales is the diversity of products that moved, ranging from Mother's Day gifts to graduation items and even childcare flyers. This confirms what I've suspected. Miss Rhoadie thrives as a general store, offering variety and flexibility rather than focusing on a single niche. It's the store where I can test trends, try new formats, and tap into seasonal spikes. Weddings by Rhoadie had one sale, a wedding party button. While small, this aligns with peak wedding season, and I might explore making collections or promoting more accessories to increase conversions. Alma Africa brought in a safari-themed shot glass sale. A small but encouraging reminder that culturally themed products have potential, especially if I build them out with more intentional collections. So you see, the key here is collections, and I'm going to speak about the importance of having collections instead of trying to depend on standalone products, because that's what I've been doing. But I'm going to pivot instead of just having creating a product and just thinking of it as a standalone product. If I make a collection, that will increase my sales. Bible verses and gifts had one tote bag sale with scripture. A quiet win that confirms there's also an audience for inspirational faith-based products. And with more promotion, this store could grow. Because as I analyze my stores, I get more and more encouragement. And that's the importance of analyzing, because you want to know what there's a market for, what there's an audience for, Homeschool Me came through with 5 sales, which included puzzles, file folders, and birthday cards. All tools are gifts that support educators as well as families. And I also believe May was Teacher Appreciation Week. So that may be a reason why I had more sales in that align with like teacher type gifts. So this store, it has a niche audience. And May performance suggests it's resonating with that market. As summer approaches, I may consider back to school content. Well, I know I will consider back to school content because I usually do that, but I'll do it on a wider scale. And I can also think of summer learning kits, because as a teacher, I know co-workers, they're always talking about, keeping kids engaged during the summer. So I'm going to brainstorm products in that category. Rhoadie's Kitchen clocked in 3 sales, and they were all graduation themed party supplies like napkins and plates. This is a seasonal success and proves that milestone celebrations are worth designing for year round. And also some schools go to school year round, and you'll be surprised, some high schools come out in March. So you never know when someone's going to purchase a graduation themed product. Earrings by Rhoadie has 0 sales. So this store has consistently underperformed, but I haven't given up on it. I wanted it to be just an earring store when I envisioned it during its inception. However, maybe that niche is too narrow. So moving forward, I want to consider expanding the product range to include other accessories, such as matching necklaces, hair ties, or even fashion-themed tote bags, to broaden its appeal and increase visibility. Because maybe a person, someone, they may purchase the earrings if they see the cute matching tote bag. They may think, okay, I want the tote bag plus the earrings, or I want the necklace plus the earrings. So I'm going to think more in terms of collections. So the key here that I've learned this month is I need more collections instead of trying to create these standalone products. And referrals. My referrals remain at 0, which is concerning since I haven't seen any referrals since October 2024. This may point to issues such as a drop in link traffic or less visibility from past blogs or social shares. It's something I discussed further in the video. And also me looking at the referrals and noticing, oh my goodness, I haven't had any referrals since October 2024. I just noticed that this morning because I decided to do my May 2025 analytic report. And I haven't done a report since March 2024. And I just put my March 2024 report on today's date, which is June 3rd, 2025. So basically, these reports causes me to dive deep into the data. So I'm diving deep into the data when I do these reports. However, if I don't do these reports and I just let my store just, go on like business as usual, I wouldn't notice these trends that my referrals have been 0 since October 2024. So I said all that to say it's important monthly to just look at your data, look at what's selling, look at patterns. See, that's the only way you can see what's going on month to month to month, is to look at your sales data every month. So don't sleep on that. Don't slack on that, because you can miss opportunities to turn things around. Best-selling item. So my graduation products outshine my Mother's Day products this May. One of the most unexpected but exciting outcomes in May was, what I said earlier, my graduation themed products outperforming my Mother's Day items, and by a significant margin. My top seller for the month was a personalized 5th grade graduation card featuring a cute owl illustration. This design was part of my Miss Rhoadie storefront, which continues to prove its strength through variety and seasonal relevance. Because as you can remember, my Miss Rhoadie store is like a general store that sells a variety of items, and it's my oldest store. So most of my best sellers come out of this store. So I wonder, why did graduation beat out Mother's Day? Because this is the first time this has ever happened. Mother's Day is usually one of the top holidays. My top holidays is usually like Christmas, Father's Day, and then Mother's Day. However, graduation beat out Mother's Day this year. So at first, this result surprised me. However, as I analyzed the trend in my store more closely, I realized something important. I have been consistently updating and creating new graduation designs. And I believe it's because I graduated myself this year. So I was just, in graduation mode, just thinking about items that I would want, people to purchase for their loved ones. However, most of my Mother's Day inventory is over 5 years old. So, like I said, if you're not checking into your data, you may not even notice that, you would notice that you haven't updated your Mother's Day inventory in 5 years, but you may not see the impact that it's had, because you may just be used to the same thing selling over and over each year. And you may even be dependent on it because it's so good the first couple of years, and you may just think it's going to sell like that forever. However, if you want to have repeat customers that come back year after year, freshness matters. Buyers are drawn to up-to-date designs that feel timely and intentional, because no one that's a repeat customer wants to come back year after year and see the same Mother's Day shirt. It looks like you're not even serious, It looks like you're neglecting your store when you do that. And you are neglecting your store if you not, well, maybe I shouldn't say neglecting, but I'm learning to keep things fresh and up to date. Because when you think about commercials and bigger brands, they don't advertise commercials on television for the same cup year after year. They have different designs, different items. They keep things fresh. They keep things flowing. They keep things trendy. So every year you should be rolling out a new collection. And like I said, we need collections and not standalone products. So that's what I'm learning. Seasonal engagement pays off. So like I was saying, I was actively building graduation products this spring because I was encouraged and inspired by my own graduation. So that naturally is aligned with demand. And yes, evergreen, it can be eternal. However, even long-time bestsellers need periodic refreshers or creative spin-offs to stay competitive. So even with your evergreen products that sell year after year, okay, what you may want to do with that product that sells year after year, change the cover photo every now and then. Make a different markup. Show best mom ever at a playground one day, and then maybe some months later you show best mom ever at a dinner table, in a restaurant somewhere, as if it's her birthday. Because also You want to think beyond just Mother's Day, and I'll get into that a little later. My second best-selling item is my Best Mom Ever t-shirt. So this heartfelt personalized photo shirt took the second spot in my May sales. So I still was selling Mother's Day items. It just wasn't number one like it usually is. And what's remarkable is, like I was saying, it's not a new product. I originally created this shirt back in 2019. So basically I just did, a standalone product with this shirt, and it'll sell year after year. So I just never created more shirts. However, it's I'm learning that this has inspired me to create more shirts like this. And despite not creating similar shirts since then, this design continues to sell, which is proof that evergreen designs can quietly carry your store forward when they hit the right emotional note. What makes this shirt a long-term performer is its universality. The phrase "Best Mom Ever" is simple, powerful, and widely relatable. Add to that the option for a personalized photo, and it becomes a meaningful, sentimental gift that speaks across generations and family types. But it's more than a Mother's Day only item. Truthfully, I've been sleeping on this product. I haven't changed the mock-ups or created spin-offs like I should. And while it's comfortable, it's comforting to know that it's still selling, it also highlights a missed opportunity. I treated this as a Mother's Day only item when in reality, it has potential far beyond that one holiday. So let's rethink the potential. Here's how I'm reimagining this shirt moving forward. I can market it as a birthday gift for mom with birthday themed mock-ups or tags like, birthday gift for mom. I can position it as a first-time mom gift with text like new mommy or first Mother's Day. I can make it a just because moment. I can emphasize spontaneous gifting because sometimes you can sort of influence buyer behavior. Let's say you want a Mother's Day shirt to be purchased in September or purchased in July. It's all about how you market it. You can market it as just because. Just because you want to surprise your mother, you may have a picture, a good picture that you took with her at a park, and you may want to surprise your mom with that picture. You just don't want to post it on Facebook or just show it to her on your phone or just text it to her as a photo attachment. You want to blow this picture up because it's just captured a special moment. And also holiday seasons. You can rebrand this shirt with a Christmas mock-up. So that's the importance of mock-ups. You can just, take that shirt and work wonders with it. And pair it with family-themed matching items for holiday collections. My third best-selling item, my Burgundy Caps graduation plate. This paper plate design emerged as my third best-selling item in May, and it completely took me by surprise. And all of the orders came from East Coast buyers, so that's interesting, particularly in the northeastern United States. So I want to go deeper into this. Like, okay, why was it just there? Do East Coast people on the East Coast, do they get out of school earlier? Like I want to know what's going on with these graduation plates from the East Coast. And most of them was purchased without any customization at all, because I'm used to seeing customization and everything. And of course, when I mean seeing customization, I don't see the customization. Like when someone purchases, I can't see their personal customization. However, you can tell, like it have like a little C if the customer customized it. However, most of the customers that bought that plate, it didn't have a little C. So that means they just bought it as is. So that detail alone was incredibly eye-opening. So why did this surprise me? I'm just used to my Zazzle sales coming from personalized gifts or event supplies. I typically expect buyers to change names, add dates, or adjust colors. But this product sold as is, proving that there is a demand for well-designed, ready-to-go theme party supplies, especially when they match school colors or event aesthetics. Because I'm thinking maybe this matched some school colors. So this also confirmed their simple color-based graduation decor sales. In a quick Google search, uncovered that red and white is one of the most popular school colors in the United States. So the ease of buying this item with no edits, no custom steps may have contributed to the quick conversions. So, location insight. Seeing that all the sales came from the East Coast is a valuable starting data point. So it may be worth exploring regional school color trends. So I'm going to start looking at, okay, what are the school colors around here, around where I live? Just randomly just looking throughout the country, just seeing, okay, what are school colors? Because I may notice a pattern for school colors. It may be black and gold someplace. It may be yellow and green another place. So these are just all ideas for future items, future graduation items. So strategic takeaways from this. Keep it simple. Not every buyer wants customization. Ready-to-ship style products have real value. Color matters. Create more graduation themes based on common school colors like navy, burgundy, gold, green, and black. Also, expand the set. Create collections featuring coordinated napkins, banners, cups, and thank you cards with the same design to increase cart value. And tap into timing. Make sure that you have these products on your site and you need to promote them early in the graduation season, especially in April and May. Here's my honorable mention. Wedding usher button. While this product didn't crack my top 3, it deserves special recognition. I was surprised to sell a wedding usher button. They sometimes get overlooked in my store. I created this particular item 7 years ago, and it has only gotten 10 sales. So selling one gave me the inspiration for creating this mock-up in preparation for this video. And I used ChatGPT's image tools, and as soon as I saw the final result, the young man proudly wearing the customized usher button at a beautifully decorated wedding reception, it changed everything. It was no longer just a button on a white background. It became a real product with a real purpose placed in a meaningful context. That is visual storytelling at its finest. So why mock-ups matter? Now I can see why Zazzle wanted us to promote these mock-ups, because they're a form of visual storytelling. So this experience reminded me that mock-ups are more than just marketing visuals. They can be idea generators. The moment I saw this mock-up, I immediately began brainstorming, matching buttons for bridesmaids, groomsmen, ring bearers, and family members. coordinated wedding welcome kits, and custom signage or thank you cards using the same theme. Mock-ups can also help customers visualize how and when they will use a product. So let's say there was a customer that would have usually just scrolled past that usher button. However, when they see the young man with the button on and they're like, wow, okay, that looks good, it would encourage them to buy. So like I said, they help customers visualize how to use the product. But just as importantly, they help me as a designer to recognize the product's full potential. They unlock creativity, validate product concepts, and spark new design paths I wouldn't have seen otherwise. And I believe this goes also for the customers. They may get creative and, create something to match. Even if your button don't match their wedding colors, the mock-up may be so riveting that they customize it themselves to match their wedding colors, So don't underestimate the power of context. A product in isolation may look simple, but placed in the right setting, it comes to life. Also, let your mock-ups inspire your catalog. If one item fits well in a theme setting, there's room to build out a full collection. And do not be afraid to use tools like ChatGPT to generate style visuals quickly. Infuse the creative process, especially during seasonal design pushes. Other items sold. So I want to take a deep dive into my other items sold. Okay, daycare flyers was an unexpected but major standout. I sold 50 of them. So it was one customer that purchased 50 daycare flyers. So that indicated a real market demand for ready-made printable business materials, especially in child-focused industries. So this lets me know that collections, the key term for today. All right, I have business flyers. Okay, maybe I need to incorporate that same design onto business cards. And hey, I can create name badges and buttons, different marketing materials for businesses, because a lot of business owners come to Zazzle to make their logo products and put their logos and do different things of that nature. So you just have to think outside the box. I also sold leggings. My leggings, my 80s themed pink leggings, are my most popular leggings, and they tap into both nostalgia and bold fashion trends. They're not just everyday basics. They're actually statement pieces, and that's their strength. So what I will be doing is just making more themed leggings that follow other decades that had remarkable fashion trends. I sold a Christian tote bag, which showed me that faith-based products continue to be, or have the potential to be, a strong evergreen category. Okay, let me repeat that. Faith-based products can become a strong evergreen category. My scripture-themed tote bag filled a practical need while offering spiritual encouragement, because what warms my heart about faith-based products is it's more than a product. It's almost like a ministry. It's almost like ministry, because we don't know if the person is gifting it to somebody that's going through something or just came out of a challenging situation, or they may need encouragement for themselves. And sometimes you need a physical, tangible product to remind you to keep going, to keep being motivated. So there is a a market for faith-based products. Father's Day cards. I tapped into seasonal demand with Father's Day cards because we know Father's Day is just around the corner. And I included designs for specific relationships such as son. These cards are meaningful and customizable, which adds value, and I will expand my Father's Day collection to include grandson. Maybe a grandfather is celebrating his grandson becoming a father, Maybe someone's brother. Maybe happy Father's Day to my brother. I want to think outside of the box. Wall clock. So I get excited too when I sell wall clocks because it's kind of rare for me. So my wall clock that I sold, it's a blue sky themed wall clock. And I created this design in the beginning when I first learned design. So this was when my designs were simpler, So this wall clock, it may not be flashy, but it offers calm, minimalistic appeal. Because some people, they're into the minimalistic appeal, which can be ideal for home offices, classrooms, or quiet spaces. Birthday cards. Birthday cards remain a consistent seller, especially when personalized with names or photos. Designs like my happy birthday card show that even classic styles can stand the test of time. I sold a safari-themed shot glass, which featured a gold elephant, which is stylish, elegant, and culturally resonant. Perfect for gift-giving, collectors, or theme events. And the thing that was real interesting about shot glasses is when I started Googling it and doing research, there's a lot of shot glasses that's now being marketed as luxury items, especially the ones that's handcrafted and appeal to those in higher income brackets. So the personalized shot glasses that Zazzle offers can be a good alternative to people who's looking for shot glasses as a luxury gift. It's like they get the luxury appeal for lower cost. Okay, and map theme file folders, last but not least. It appeals to educators, travelers, or history buffs, because you have a lot of people that's interested in history. They love antique maps. So it's functional but with flair. So my final thoughts when it comes to my other products that sold, that these other products are not just filler products. They demonstrated how variety, niche awareness, and strong visuals can lead to real conversions. Okay. Customer demographics. Let's take a closer look. According to my analytics for May, 71% of my customers were women, while 25% were men. And 4% fell into the unknown category. While it's not surprising that women make up the majority, especially on a platform like Zazzle, what's interesting is that both men and women gravitated towards similar product categories. Because I thought, and it came because I wasn't doing my research month to month, I was assuming, because sometimes the men, they'll buy things like bottle openers or golf balls. So I just thought they was buying functional items. However, this may shown that the women and men, they were buying the same type of items. Both women and men were buying Mother's Day gifts. They both were buying graduation gifts and birthday gifts. So, key takeaways from that is that both men and women are buying thoughtful gifts for others, especially for moms and children. So my messaging needs to stay inclusive and occasion driven. And also, I need to offer universal designs that feel special without leaning heavily into gender stereotypes, because the men, they're breaking the gender stereotypes. They're gifting the same gifts that women are. You know, they're not just buying tools and gadgets, but they're also buying heartfelt gifts. Now on to my top state. My top selling state for the month of May was Pennsylvania. And this is going to tie into men gift giving. In May, Pennsylvania led the way in sales across my Zazzle storefronts. But what stood out most was not just the volume, but the type of purchases coming from this state. A significant portion of the sales came from male buyers, and most of them were purchasing thoughtful, sentimental gifts like Mother's Day shirts and cards and graduation greeting cards. So that makes me wonder, because there have been times where I've noticed an uptick in certain locations. So I wonder if, let's say, two people from Pennsylvania, and they happen to be like males, and they purchase Mother's Day cards or graduation cards, and they're from Pennsylvania. I wonder, does somehow the Zazzle algorithm showcases these products to men in Pennsylvania or men, in that area? I wonder how that occurs, because it was just interesting to me, because I've noticed things like that before with certain products really taking off in a certain area. And sometimes it may be that's the only area, because I've had that happen before. So I want to look more into that. But nonetheless, this trend is both surprising and affirming. It challenges this common stereotype that women are the primary sentimental gift givers, and highlights the emotional depth and buying power of male shoppers, especially during meaningful milestones like graduation and Mother's Day. Now let's move on to international sales. My international spotlight for the month of May is the United Kingdom. While most of my May sales came from the United States, I had one international order, a sale from the UK. And it wasn't just any product, it was my custom wedding usher button, which also earned an honorable mention this month. This small but meaningful sale tells me something important. It's important to design products that can have a global appeal. Even something as specific as a wedding usher button that's customizable with a name found its way across the Atlantic. So that speaks to the universal relevance of weddings and milestone celebrations. So if you're someone that's trying to figure out what sells on Zazzle, milestone celebrations, that's something that's a theme that I'm seeing this month. Okay, also speaks to the clean, professional aesthetic of the button itself. So sometimes just a clean, professional look is all it takes. And also the value of Zazzle offering international shipping and customization options. Okay, and last but not least, and thank you for bearing with me, because I know this is long, but I want to really dive deep into my sales, and hopefully you can even it'll spark some ideas in you. Okay, so this is my plan for bringing in more referrals. So I want to reflect on possible reasons for the referral drop. The first reason may be cookie expirations. Zazzle's affiliate tracking relies on browser cookies. If a customer disables cookies, clears them, or uses a private browsing mode, the referral may not register, even if they bought it through my link. Number 2, maybe the link visibility has declined. because I know that I haven't been sharing my referral links as frequently or prominently as I did in prior years. So maybe my older blog posts and pins that once drove steady traffic has lost visibility. Because algorithms change and older content can easily get buried. Maybe there's a shift in customer behavior. Even if people are clicking my designs, they might be going back to the Zazzle homepage later to make purchases, thus breaking the referral chain. Or they may just be price shopping, then returning through a different route that doesn't include my link. Or maybe, and this is something that I've seen with my own two eyes, broken or outdated links. So sometimes I would click on a link, especially from Pinterest, that I had pinned to a board. And what would happen is it may be, now it used to just go to like a blank page. It used to do that in the past, but now Zazzle, they do redirect you to just a page with products. So even though it's not your product, it's still a page with products. However, if let's say someone click on an outdated link or a link that's how some of Zazzle's products may have been discontinued. So let's say it was a particular, let me think of something that's been discontinued. The night lights. Okay, let me give an example. Let's say that you sold some night lights that's good for a nursery. Their image is still on Pinterest. So someone may say, oh, that's cute. That's cute. I can buy that for my grandson. So they click on the link expecting it to go to the product, but the product is discontinued. So it may just go to a page with lampshades or, wherever the landing page lands. And that customer may be disappointed and may, because they had their heart set on those night lights. So that's how broken or outdated links can cause you to have a decline in referrals. So what I would have to do is go back and check through my referrals and just make sure that products that's been discontinued on Zazzle, that I no longer have links linking, or trying to link to those products because they're not there. They're no longer there. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this deep dive. I'm at 42 minutes. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you took notes and have ideas that can spark designs and items in your store. Okay, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Have a great day. Good afternoon and welcome to Miss Rhoadie. This is